as you can tell, we are just now leaving Kidderminster, and we're now heading back to the West Midlands. And no, we're not heading to Stourbridge, back to Stourbridge. This time we're heading up to Halesowen, which is in between, which borders in between the Dudley area and the Sandwell area. And so we're on the 192 now, which takes us from Kiddy to Halesowen, and is operated by Diamond Bus. Now, as you know, we're in the territory of Diamond at the moment, and so just enjoy the journey as we travel all the way up to Halesowen. To come back to Kidderminster to see what has changed, and so we're just now about to head away from this beautiful town centre. So the beautiful town centre is just about to depart. We're just now leaving the beautiful town. So the beautiful town is now heading very away from us now, so we're now departing away from the town centre, and obviously viewers are saying, are we going to come back? Well, certainly, yes, they will be. There will be another time we'll be back here again, hopefully to continue onto even more distant destinations. Hopefully we'll get to places that are like connected with Kidderminster, maybe somewhere like Redditch, Bromsgrove, Worcester, or probably the Shropshire areas. Well, that is going to be possible at some point. But first thing we need to do is get out this area and crack on with the journey as we head out of Kidderminster and head into the lovely countryside. I'm sure this will be the last bit of the countryside. We'll see the countryside until we get to Halesowen. Now, as you probably know, this route, the 192, has been operating under Midland Red years ago. It used to run from Birmingham to Hereford back in the day, and also combined an X92 Birmingham to Ludlow. So just passing the other Claxton Centro, working the 192 from Kidderminster to Halesowen. Now, as you know, Claxton Centros do tend to make appearances on this route. Obviously this route is mixed with different buses, Claxton Centro, Enviro 200, and also straight light occasionally. But it's nice to see that we've got Claxton Centro on today's 192 up to Halesowen. Obviously we couldn't film the Thames video because we could also watch with memory, but I've already back again, probably to include another Kiddy local day, to include various different local services, and yeah, I'm going to be doing some more local services in the Kidderminster area in the foreseeable future. And the weather today in Kidderminster, it did look a bit dull, but not as bad than you think in winter time. So outfit of the day, tracksuit trousers. I took the tracksuit top off because obviously it was getting warm, and wearing my super dry bomber jacket with the zip on. So that's a good outfit. As you know, I will be doing a lot of outfits of the day videos on a day-to-day basis. So we're now coming to the crossover, and you'll probably be thinking, are we going straight on? But no, that goes to Stourbridge, also onto Wolverhampton. We're going to be turning right towards Halesowen. Get ready, you're going to experience a thrash. Yes, a thrash. Okay then guys, so as you know we are just awaiting clearance, and as you can tell we're by the pub called the Land Oak, and we're going to hit the Birmingham Road. And the Birmingham Road, which is the A456, will take us in the Birmingham direction. Straight ahead is for the A449 towards Wolverhampton. Now Kidderminster don't do a Wolverhampton, so don't have a service to Wolverhampton, but that wasn't the case, because in the Midland Red Day there was. It was the 303 that went from Worcester to Wolverhampton back in the day, if you look at Midland Rednet's website. And of course there was the 582, the Saturday shopper from Kidderminster to Wolverhampton that went through Kimber. But there is a Kimber service that operates in Kidderminster called the 580, one of our favourite routes. So we now hit the Birmingham Road, and this is going to take us all the way towards Halesowen. Pretty shame the 192 doesn't continue to Birmingham anymore. Obviously the last survived, but obviously Birmingham still managed to keep the two other Birmingham to Worcestershire services. The first was Salt Road 144 service from Birmingham to Worcester down through Catchhill and Bromsgrove, and also the one, and of course they had the 146 from Birmingham to Redditch by Church, and the 150 from Birmingham to Worcester through Redditch. But obviously soon that all changed. The 150 continued. The 146 stopped in 2020, and then the 150 shortened Redditch to Kingsheath only in 2022, with it originally being shortened Birmingham to Redditch only, with the Worcester section being replaced by the 149, and then the 144 was shortened Worcester to Catchhill only, Bromsgrove. So that means there is no direct services into the Worcestershire area, but obviously during the peak times there's the 50A corridor that goes Birmingham to Redditch alongside the Humboldt number 56. So anyway, back to the route. We're now in the countryside now, on the A456. See the fields, got all like cover all over. I think it's also down to the oilseed rape that's happening. We're coming to the Hodge Hill Garden Centre with that little tractor engine outside the garden centre. Makes it very look presentable. And of course, as you know, this upcoming weekend is going to be Easter. Easter weekend, Good Friday on Friday. And if I don't do any videos for the rest of the week, I'll wish you all viewers a very, very happy Easter. And as you know, so we're now going along. So we've just left the lovely Kidderminster area behind. So Kidderminster is now far away from us now. To be gone far away from us now, but we are still in Worcestershire until we get towards the now approaching Blakedown, which is also the first intermediate stop on the Snow Hill line from Kidderminster. So train stations after Kidderminster heading in the direction towards Stratford or Solihull. So they start first at Kidderminster and call additionally at the following principal stations: Blakedown, Hagley, Stourbridge Junction, Lye, Cradley Heath, Old Hill, Valley Ridges, Langley Green, Snelligon Bridge High Level, the Hawthorns, Jewellery Quarter, Birmingham Snow Hill, Birmingham Wall Street, Baldsley, occasionally, then goes on to Small Heath, Tyseley, Acox Green, Alton, Solihull, Woodley Manor, Dorwich, and then some services going on towards Shirley, Whitlock's End, Withell and Stratford-upon-Avon. So we're going to stop here for a minute and I'll catch you up shortly. Okay then, we are just now departing from Blakedown, and we're now ready to continue on to our next destination. So turning right goes on to the B4188 towards Belbroughton, which is 3 miles away from Blakedown. And of course it did have the 197 service that used to operate round here, that used to be run by Worcestershire County Council Bush. And I'm just giving a shout out to Bandor Central. If you remember the exercising of poverty video we did, this actually recreated the old 197 service from 197 service from Kidderminster to Hagley, also including Belmore. So we've just gone past Blakedown station. So as you know, the railway line that was on our right hand side is now combined to the left hand side. So we followed the railway line as far as West Hagley before we then head up towards Halesowen. The oilseed rape is in, so you can see the oilseed rape has started to grow in the field. So obviously it's that time of the year now. Obviously you probably think it's maize, but no, it's oilseed rape. It is, as you can tell, the weather today is very, very quite mild, but not bad for us. Because we've had a fantastic time in Kidderminster, and we are hoping to return to Kidderminster in the foreseeable future. And yes, with no doubt, yes, we are going to come back to Kidderminster. And I'll let you know when Kidderminster will be returning to the map. And I am also going to be doing the new 25A from Dudley to Kidderminster, which starts next week, which I'm possibly likely to be doing it next Friday, all being good. So it could be like I'll be doing it next Friday, so I'm looking forward to it. Coming up now on our right hand side is the Webs of West Hagley Garden Centre, which used to be known as Hurrams. Facilities there include the Falconry Centre. There used to be a farm shop on the car park, but there isn't anymore. There was also fireplaces in there, but not anymore. And of course there is a cafeteria in there. Obviously I have been in Webs of West Hagley before, and I've also been to the big one down over at Witchbold. That's on the 145 route. Fig and Favour, that used to be the old Little Chef. So we're now entering the village of West Hagley, north of Worcestershire, and this is where our last leg of Worcestershire is seen before we enter the busy big towns of the West Midlands, because obviously Hagley borders into the West Midlands county. So as you know, the authorities round here for transport for the bus stops is actually manned by Worcestershire County Council, and also Bromsgrove, and also parting with Bromsgrove District Council, but the bus stops are marked as Worcestershire County Council. So here we are, just coming into the village of Hagley. So as you know, there's a variety of shops like estate agents, hounds. There's two co-op stores here as well. There's one like on the southbound direction if you're on the 192 towards Kidderminster, and then the northbound direction is on the opposite side, but I'll show you that on the Kidderminster bound line in the foreseeable future. Just now coming to some traffic lights. Our next part of the route is to turn right. Roundabout. As you can tell, this big roundabout, this island. Down there goes towards the Alton Arms, Hagley Hall, and of course Clem Nurseries. So we're now going to be heading on the last leg of the 192. This will take us into the TFW Impound Road and into the centre of Halesowen. territory of TFWM and the bus territory of National Express West Midlands. We're one of the biggest operators within the Midlands. And yes, we do have Diamond also operating in the Midlands, because Kidderminster also operates some services within the Midlands, which are on the Stourbridge route, while the rest is covered by Tipperdale. Anyway, as you know, we are just now waiting until our arrival into Halesowen, and now we are just on the move and ready to arrive into the centre of Halesowen, which is one of the mountains. So as you know, the towns of the Midlands have now approached us after spending the last couple of hours in Worcestershire. It feels like that you don't want to leave Worcestershire. you, Halesowen guys. It's been a fantastic trip to Kidderminster, and so we will be back here again. We'll be back here again very soon for more exciting vlogs on Joe's Trek Back. Welcome to Halesowen.